Hey everybody, Kevin Crouch here with Ellis County Weather, and I want to talk today about a topic that I've touched on in different ways before, but I haven't specifically spoken about this issue overall. And I know that it's an issue that can be concerning to a lot of people during a severe weather season. We're getting towards the end of severe weather season at this point. The point of filming this may be viewed later, but at the point of filming this, it's actually the last day of May. And, usually the severe weather season goes through really the first week or two of June. So we may not be seeing a lot of severe weather going on, but that doesn't mean that we may not see more severe storms come during really the next week or two. The thing is that one of the kind of byproducts of severe weather is that sometimes your power goes out. Well, if your power goes out during a storm, you're probably going to want to stay informed about what is happening, because any form of severe weather can take out your power, whether it's high winds, damaging hail can even do that sometimes if it affects a tree next to a power line, or possibly even hits a transformer or something hard enough. We even see power flashes from tornadoes when that can take out power. So you want to make sure that you're staying informed when the weather takes out your electricity. But how do you do that when so much of our information is dependent upon electricity? Well, I'm just going to get the obvious one out of the way, right? I've talked about them once, I'll talk about them again. Actually, I've talked about them many times, is these weather radios. Again, this is from Midland. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it at a lot of different stores. I think Walmart has them. There's different stores you can find them if you Google it. Go to Google Shopping. I think that it'll show you the different stores that sell them. Amazon probably the easiest way to get it, right? So they're, $20, $30, sometimes $40, well worth it. Because here's the thing. They do plug into power so that when you have electricity, it's running off of your that power source, but it does have batteries here in the back. So, it's going to work after the power goes out. Those batteries are going to start running. So you still have that information. And, it may not, I'm not exactly sure how long on a power. It may depend on your battery, right? Get decent batteries for them, right? Get name brand, usually, or whatever brand you have that's reliable. But I can't speak to how long it's going to work on batteries, but several hours, right? And it's going to keep going. It's going to at least get you through the storm. Now, the other thing is have cell phone backup batteries. This is just a couple that I have. And these will hold a charge, and, they may last, again, it kind of depends on the phone you have, but, usually at least an hour, that they'll charge up your phone and give you enough charge to get through at least probably the rest of the storm and kind of know what's going on for the rest of that period of time. And then, after that point, you can kind of just wait it out until the power comes back. But if you use your cell phone for watching Ellis County weather or getting text messages or emails or phone calls with severe weather information, you want to make sure I have a couple of these. Make sure these are charged at all times, right? Especially in the spring. And apparently now in the winter, because we have those concerns then too, right? So make sure these are charged at all times. You got them kind of set aside to where you can have that backup source if severe weather strikes, takes out your power, and you're using your phone as that power source. Now, obviously, too, there's power generators, right? And generators, sales of those things went up quite a bit during after the winter storm that we had. So if you have a generator, that's another source as well that you can use to try to stay informed on what is going on. The other thing is there are, for your computers or different appliances, there's also kind of the next step up from these. You have, battery packs that'll connect directly to their battery backups really connect to the wall, connect to your devices, and they will instantly flip on if you lose power or, your power source to your home is gone, and then that battery backup's going to kick in. So for me, I am definitely looking at one of those for my setup, because if nothing else, that setup can probably keep my internet going so that I can broadcast from the phone or the laptop or whatever if I lose this setup that we're using right now. But that will allow you to run, if you have bad signal where you are, if bad phone signal or something, and that's really sketchy, and you don't have a weather radio or don't want to depend on one, if you use Wi-Fi or internet for your connection, then, if you have a laptop that's charged, and I'm just coming up with a scenario, you have a laptop that is charged, and your power is out, but your Wi-Fi is still going. You can still get connected and keep up with what's happening. You can also use that to charge your phones or whatever devices. So, those are a little bit more pricey, but they have a little more juice to them. So that's an option as well. So I just wanted to go over some different ways to stay informed. The last thing I'm going to mention, and not a lot of people use these days, but it is an option, is you can use a boombox or a radio, just an old-fashioned radio, right? CD player. If anybody under 25 years old, 20 years old knows what those are, and those usually will use a battery backup as well. So you can tune in to WBAP or KRLD or one of these kind of talk stations in Dallas that carries those emergency alert updates. You've got KRLD up in Dallas. I believe Dan Brunoff is there. And you've got great meteorologists at really most of those stations up in Dallas that are news focused. So they're going to be bringing those updates. At the very least, like I say, they'll run the warnings, so they can kind of update you there. So those are just a few suggestions on how to at least temporarily keep electricity going until the storm passes or until danger has passed. You want to make sure that you are connected in every which way. I'm biased, but I personally think that these weather radios, I think one of these should be in every household in North Texas. We get severe weather every year. We're used to it. This should be in every household. It should have at least one. It's programmable. You can adjust it to where it only, if you only want it to wake you up when there's a tornado warning. If you don't care about severe thunderstorm warnings and watches and all that kind of thing, it'll do is it'll actually, if you don't want the alarm to sound, you'll at least get lights here. I think it's yellow lights here for a watch. So that tells you, there's a watch, I need to check that out. Red for a warning, and I don't remember what the color is for advisory. Maybe green? I'm not sure. But it's at least going to light up. Or if you want the ear-splitting alarm on this, then that will make sure you are aware that a warning has been issued. But whatever source of electricity or backup power you use, make sure you have a source of backup power, even in the summer. ERCOT is what it is. I don't want to start a whole debate, but ERCOT is what it is. So when it comes to backup power sources, never a bad idea. Fortunately, during summer, we're not usually dealing with weather that is actively dangerous and going to destroy something, right? It's hot, At that point, you almost need to start talking about alternative sources for cooling, which is something we'll talk about. We're going to be getting into more summer-related topics pretty soon. But when it comes to severe weather, hey, summer's the time to get ready, right? Fall is kind of our second severe weather season. That bleeds now into December for whatever reason. So we'll get past the summer months. Secondary severe weather season comes into play. Then we get into winter, which is a whole other beast of questions. And then we're right back into severe weather season. So make sure that you're tuning in to Ellis County Weather and using these backup options to keep the information flowing. Make sure you go to elliscountyweather.com for all the latest forecast information, and use the links up there. I think it's at the top left to follow on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter for all the latest updates there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time.